undo these chains, my friend. I'll show you the rage I've hidden. There is the sacrament. Swallow, but nothing's forgiven.
Here's the thing about Bigfoot. The reason why it's so attractive is because it used to be a real animal. There's a thing called Gigantopithecus. I believe it was the 1920s they found a tooth of this primate, and they're like, what the f*** is this? So check it out. That was a real animal. God, 8 foot tall, gigantic orangutan looking thing.
Take a look. Where's Bigfoot?
No, you gotta watch. He's moving, but I told you. See that near that tree?
Oh, I thought he was across the road. Where's he at? There he is, dude. So, definitely something walking in the woods there. Now, the real question is, was this just a statue? Because some of the states you'll see, like on the back highways, they have big posters or like wooden signs in the woods of Bigfoot or like statues of Bigfoot. Was this just a Bigfoot statue or sign, or was it actually moving? So let's take a look a little closer. I don't know. I'm looking at it frame by frame right now. I'm trying to play it as slowly as possible from the minute that they saw it. There might be a little pep in its step. I'm not really sure. What do you guys see? Do you see this thing moving? Does it look like they caught this thing mid-stride? Or is this just a static statue or a poster cut out of some kind? Let me know. Where's it? There he is, dude.
This aerial footage has recently sparked debate. It appears to show a large humanoid figure walking through a remote forest while carrying an unknown object. Some viewers believe it's one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings ever recorded, while skeptics argue it's simply a person in a costume. But many people are focused on the wrong thing. Look closely at what it's carrying. What exactly is it? Watch the footage again and decide for yourself.
Here is one of the most convincing new Bigfoot videos I've seen in a while. It's really clear and was just posted on July 25th, 2026. A couple of friends drove up to the Chinook Pass, a high mountain pass through the Cascade Range in Washington State. They state, at the top of the pass we saw Bigfoot walking around the lake. One of the friends zoomed in and filmed the spectacle. The video was filmed on an iPhone and was taken from the other side of the lake. And just on the other side is indeed a large, hairy, bipedal creature. It's slowly walking along, arms swinging. The figure looks huge and strong, too tall and broad to be a human. One witness says, if Bigfoot isn't real, then how do you explain this? Another thing that makes this even more convincing is the witness who uploaded it has never posted anything like this before. Her Instagram account is just used as a personal blog where she posts photos and videos of her day-to-day life and such. Never once had cryptids or Bigfoot been mentioned until she had this encounter. It seems she really did have an authentic encounter and wanted to show people. Also, for decades, Chinook Pass in Washington State has been one of the places most often linked to Bigfoot stories. So the fact that we know so many details about this one, like where it was taken, who took it, and when it was taken, it makes it one of the more legitimate Bigfoot videos we've watched.
Alright, I want y'all to look at this video right here that I have. Now allegedly this camera was put in one of Bigfoot's favorite spots. The spot that he was known to frequent. Now how they know that was because they seen droppings and they seen large sitting impressions in the forest around this area. So they put up a hidden camera. And luckily, this is what was on it. Now if you're looking at this creature right here, it definitely resembles Sasquatch. The creature is very hairy, looks very strong, and most importantly, look at the face, look at the facial features. You You can tell it's mixed with some primate, but it definitely has humanoid features. And look at the hair. Now, I personally think this video is genuine. And look at the creature as he stands up. Like, look at this.
There's footage in our movie of what appears to be a Bigfoot evaporating into nothingness,
What footage is this?
filmed by Scott Carpenter.
What is it called? What's the same one that we were just talking
American
about?
Sasquatch.
Can we see that footage? Where's that in the film?
It's during my interview with Scott.
And so who took this footage?
Scott.
And what year was this taken?
Sometime in the last 10 years.
Okay. And it shows something evaporating, like that it looks like a Bigfoot evaporating into nothing?
What you see is something kind of like smokiness looking down a trail.
Uh-huh.
And then it slowly evolves to look like something that you and I would call a Bigfoot.
Okay. So what you're saying is that we're not dealing with a standard biological organism. We're dealing with something that's probably the product of some advanced species, and that they've created this thing, and this thing has the ability to move in ways and appear and reappear in ways that don't make any sense to us.
Correct.
Well, that would make sense if it was true. And again, putting that fucking tinfoil hat on tight right now. That would make sense if you think about how many sightings there are. And that there are no bones, and there's no body, no one's found anything, there's nothing. There's been footprints. The footprints are weird. So I'd like to dismiss the footprints, like, oh, come on, somebody just like made a fake footprint. The problem is there's dermal ridges on these footprints. Some of them exhibit what's very similar to fingerprints. And that's very strange. And these are going back decades. So super hard to reproduce something like that. And you'd have to be a very, very advanced person and have some sort of incredible ability to manipulate material science just to be able to create something that recreates a dermal ridge and then use it and make footprints with it that are similar to what like a creature would make. It was very heavy, moving through the ground and pressing down on moist ground or mud and leaving footprints that have fingerprints in it. It's weird because it's not something like, I weigh like 205 pounds or something like that. Like, it's not like that. It's like something that weighs like 700 pounds, like deep into the ground. It's weird.
Abnormally heavy.
Yeah, abnormally heavy, large feet, but again, no bones, no nothing. And the only DNA, it's like, it's disputed. But of course, people are going to dispute everything. No one's going to look at it and go, this is definitely not human. They're going to go, well, who did this? How'd she do it? This is a lab that's like not doing it well, and they're publishing in some journal behind a paywall. This is nonsense. But then you have to think, well, okay, but are any other reputable labs, these reputable labs, are they interested in doing this work? Have they done the work? Have they taken the same stuff and done it through the exact same process, but not found the same results that she had? Or is there no other studies? It seems like there's no other legitimate studies of this same DNA.
Dr. Ketchum took that DNA to 4 certified labs. One of them was the University of Texas, and all of those labs got the same result. She extracted it. They did the analysis. She did the comparison to GenBank.
And she did this all herself, or she had other scientists do it?
So she wrote a white paper, and 6 different PhDs wrote it.
Still can't believe what I'm looking at. The footage hit the internet about 3 weeks ago, and since then, it's been haunting me. A 10-second clip showing 2 men crouched beside what appears to be a massive fur-covered body lying motionless on a forest floor. The thing is enormous. We're not talking about your standard 8-foot Bigfoot sighting here. This creature, if that's what it is, looks easily 10 times the size of a normal human being. The video quality is grainy, like it was shot on an older phone or a cheap camera, which only adds to the mystery. One of the men is wearing a white t-shirt and dark pants, crouching down to examine the body. The other seems to be filming from just a few feet away. In the close-up shots, you can see thick, reddish-brown fur covering what looks like arms, legs, and a torso that's almost incomprehensibly large. The face is partially visible in some of the images posted online later, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Heavy brow ridge, wide nostrils, sunken features that look both ape-like and eerily human at the same time. What makes this footage so unsettling is not just the size of the creature, but the fact that it seems real. There's no obvious CGI, no theatrical makeup that I can detect. The men in the video don't seem to be acting. They look genuinely shocked, cautious, like they've stumbled onto something they weren't prepared to find. One of them reaches out tentatively to touch the fur, then pulls his hand back quickly, as if afraid the thing might suddenly wake up. Here's the part that really gets to me. After this video surfaced, there was no follow-up.
The photographs you're about to see are presented as they were recovered. In 1981, Nick McMillan set out on a planned 3-week camping expedition. Close friends later said that Nick had privately admitted he was hoping to find evidence of the legendary Sasquatch, better known as Bigfoot. When Nick failed to return, search teams spent days combing the surrounding wilderness. They found his campsite abandoned, but there was no sign of Nick himself. Among the items recovered were several rolls of undeveloped film.
Let's take a look at some tape of some other members of the Sasquatch family, and you can tell us what we're looking at.
So this is Kubota. He's an elder. And the evidence to substantiate this footage is real is absolutely incredible because the eye spacing is non-human. And when you look at this, if it's non-human eye spacing, you clearly can see nasal moving.
There's his face
Yeah,
right in there.
I mean, it's clearly the blinking eyes, the wet eyes,
he looks human.
It does, but the spacing between the eyes are not human. And if you saw that in real life, you'd realize the head is, 15 inches across. This is Jake. So a Sasquatch I had incredible live interactions with. He was actually a friend of mine. I considered him a good teacher of mine. There you can see him blinking. And he's gone now. I haven't seen him in many years, which has been very upsetting to me.
You think he died?
No, I think he was a dominant young male and he's gone off. There he is. This is another video of Jake. He's just gone off to somewhere far away.
This is incredible video, Todd. This is absolutely stunning.
And don't take my word for it. Come out with me. I show people this.
What's this? This
is Jake again. This is just I focused on the eye blink there. So I turned up the exposure and all my stuff is documentary style. So I can turn up saturation like I do in this one. Saturation gets turned up, but just so you can clearly see that individual. And again, eye spacing is non-human. And I proved that head, oh my God, but my head is 7 inches across. That head is like 16 inches across. My head fits just over the passage of his nose. This is a female. I call her Jane. That's the daughter of Seeger. And my colleague Ashley has incredible success with her. It was amazing to me. My native teacher, so I initially thought this was just a male Sasquatch. My native teacher, here she is from a different angle, looked at that and said, wow, you filmed a female. Years later, I saw breasts on her, and I've seen her around, and I gauge what female Sasquatch do based on her tracks, which are the same size as the Patterson footage, and her interactions and the way she shows herself. She'll walk around a puddle, a male will blast through it. She'll make gentle, beautiful tree breaks that are precise, and a male is rugged and harsh and wants a big, giant, like egotistical.
Why don't they run away from you?
Right here, she's looking down at me. She's the last line of defense for me going into a position where I was going to get more footage.
Why did they let you get so close?
She didn't. I was moving in a ghillie suit, and I'd come, see there's snow there? I came in, I had success because it was a snowstorm so bad, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. So I got into the snowstorm. After the snowstorm, this is the day after, they came back down the mountain.
And where is this located?
This is close to Radium, British Columbia. And all this is Jane. So you can see everywhere there's snow. And now what's happening too is it's gone up way above, it was in the fall. So we had a -10 day with a snowstorm. Next day, it's like +15. So all the snow is melting like crazy, which creates sound and makes me better to be stealthy. So, but she's looking, she's closing in on me. And when she finally, nails it, that's Todd, he's there, literally a Sasquatch walks up behind me, grabs me by the ankle and pulls me out of my ghillie cloak.
Todd, that's some of the most unbelievable video I've ever seen.
It's never gonna stop. And again, I've taken out people and showed them that. Survivor Man has been out with me. He filmed the top of the head of a Sasquatch, which matches Jake's head. And he's been out there, and he's Survivor Man, again, one of the greatest the greatest outdoor survivalist filmmaker of all time. And he literally goes, I have no explanation for what's out there in the wilderness. I know all animals. I know what moose and birds sound like. And something took my apples, left giant footprints on the ground, got footage of it. And the truth is, behind the scenes, he knows they're real. He's trying to be skeptical. So he's, siding with the majority of people that believe that Sasquatch aren't real. He's trying to draw them over.
Do you have a lot of doubters when they see the films?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's preposterous, the infinite amount of garbage that gets thrown at me. But I've learned from my mentors, especially my native mentors, when someone can see the truth, they look at that footage, like I've seen native elders look at it and go, oh, that's a Bigfoot. And you'd be like, how they know? Because when someone is true and they're flowing and they have good energy, they can look at things, they can look at the Patterson footage and they don't need any evidence. They can know it's real. I wasn't like that. I am now. I can look at something, I can feel the energy of it, and the truth comes out for me. And that's really what I'm here and why I'm exposing this, because they are real and that's the truth. And I will prove it. I will prove it with the hardline skeptics. My first order of business was always Fish and Wildlife. Through the petition and through my court cases that I fought for in California and British Columbia, I wanted Fish and Wildlife to come out with me because I will damn well show them a Sasquatch. That was what I did in the very beginning in 2006 when I knew they were real. I walked into Fish and Wildlife in Montana, in Idaho, in Alberta, in British Columbia. I walked into their office and said, forget about the news and the media. Who's got the intestinal fortitude to come out with me and I will show you a Sasquatch? And I've been doing that from the beginning. And that's what that's the next level of a discovery process, is when they have, I'm just gonna say it, the balls to come out and say, prove it to me, show me a Sasquatch, and I will win every single time.
I have a Bigfoot theory. You want to hear it? Please do. I think Bigfoot shows up because there's a Bigfoot-shaped hole in our brain, because we've technologically advanced the world too much. We can't evolve at the same speed that we can evolve technology. That's why we're still afraid of the dark, because we have genetic memory of sitting around the campfire and something dragging off our friend and eating it.
That is mind-blowing.
Genetic memory is 100% true. But my theory that I mentioned, I think that some of the first Bigfoot encounters and sightings were Cro-Magnon man seeing Neanderthals in the wild. Neanderthals were stockier than them. They were a little bigger than them. They were probably covered in more hair. We know that at one point in time, 23 different hominids that any branch of that could have turned into people were around at the same time. All these different types. But what did they think about each other? Our stories of elves, did that come from a little Homo florensis who was 3 feet tall running around? There's a whole group of them. Did Bigfoot stories come from, don't go up near the mountains over there because there's these hairy things up there that you have to worry about?
Bigfoots? You're actually sitting here telling me those things are real?
Real enough to start a whole CIA operation for them.
You can't be serious.
Dead serious. They were human once, a mutation from a small group thousands of years ago. Bigger, stronger, hair covering their bodies. The tribe saw them as cursed and cast them out.
And they survived all this time?
They're few now, maybe a few dozen across the planet. The forests held the Sasquatch, the mountains, the Yeti, the swamps, the skunk apes, but the last group went south. Antarctica, the polar hominids. Not buried under ice like people think they live on the surface, in small colonies near geothermal vents. They move at night, their skin pale from generations of cold.
That sounds impossible.
The agency sent crews, lost contact, then scrubbed the records.
Why hide it?
Because they're not animals. Their DNA matches ours too closely.
So the CIA is still hunting them?
Desperately. They want one alive. And did they get one? Yeah, they did. I've seen it.
Guy
Alright, well,
goes
it may
missing
seem like
in
a bit much,
Oregon,
but
and the last thing he caught on camera
here I am,
is
solo
terrifying.
camping. This is Deschutes, Oregon. Well, close to Bend, Oregon. I brought the 8-person tent, or the 6-person tent. I haven't pulled this thing out in a long time, so I thought first of the season I should pull that out, give it a go. It's about that time. Sun is setting. I think it's about 8 o'clock. Should be dark out here in less than an hour. You can get a little bit over there through the trees. Beautiful night. Definitely going to be turning in early though. I've been woken up by god noises. Yeah, you can hear it something from that side. Sounds right outside the tent. There's something right outside the tent. That can't be. That gets us. That's someone's messing around with the rocks out there. Jesus Christ. Leave me alone! Flashlight. I can't see a god thing outside this night vision. Jesus Christ. I don't know where the chased me off. I'm wandering the god darkness. Flashlight.
What this is about. The threat is real in McNairy County. There have so far been 6 reportings. Nobody is paying attention to the signs. People are getting very close. They're reporting the smell of burnt tires and dog breath. Brother, that's Bigfoot, and he's coming. So far we've looked around, we keep tires and dog breath. Brother, that's Bigfoot, and he's coming. So far we've looked around, we keep finding.
It worked. The Sasquatch you see was in the shadow of this tree root and barely visible to the naked eye. But thanks to the high sensitivity sensor on this camera, the images I was able to record were very impressive. This Sasquatch is looking down at me, likely shocked by this odd behavior I'm exhibiting. Once this last battery was spent, there was nothing else I could use to record with.
Check this footage out, y'all. A mountain Bigfoot shows up while a hunter is in his blinds. And if you look closely, you can see this Sasquatch even has nostrils that's pointing down. He's checking out the hunter at this point. Amazing creature. This is a legit Sasquatch, you guys.
This is a very creepy clip. But why is this happening? Why was it this day that this man was walking in the woods and a Bigfoot decided to show itself in front of him where there is not a lot of tree cover and bushes? It is a very clear video of what is possibly one of the clearest Bigfoot videos I have ever seen. Check it out.
You want to see Bigfoot? Sure you do. Watch this. The following video was taken by a North Carolina man as he was out in the forest around his home. And he claims there's not only one, but 3 different Bigfoots in this video. Creatures threw rocks at him and his dog. And he has them on video. Speaking of Bigfoot, July 26, Gatlinburg, Tennessee at the Convention Center, the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be a speaker at the roundtable session that morning. And I'll also have a booth set up where I'll be selling a few things. You guys be sure to come by, say hello, but watch this video and tell me what you think. God bless.
I never thought picking up an injured creature from the mud during a spring storm in 1972 would turn my quiet life into 2 decades of secrecy. But when federal agents started circling my property in Washington's back country 20 years later, I realized that one rainy night had bound me to something the world wasn't ready to accept. And neither was I. My name is Anthony Collins, and by 1972 I'd already lived more life than most men twice my age. At 57, I was a widower, a retired mechanic, and a man who'd chosen isolation over the noise of civilization. My wife Margaret had passed 3 years earlier from cancer, and the cabin we'd built together in the Cascade foothills had become both my sanctuary and my prison. The nearest town, Oakridge, was 40 minutes down a logging road that turned to soup every spring. I liked it that way. The storm hit on March 14th, 1972. I remember because it was Margaret's birthday. The rain came down in sheets, turning the forest into a gray curtain of water. I was inside working on an old Chevy carburetor by lamplight when I heard it, a sound that didn't belong to the storm. It was high-pitched, desperate, almost like a child crying. I grabbed my rain slicker and a flashlight, stepping out into weather that felt like standing under a waterfall. The beam of my light cut through the darkness as I followed the sound down toward the creek bed, which had swollen to 3 times its normal size. That's when I saw the mudslide. A whole section of hillside had given way, taking trees and boulders with it. The crying was coming from a tangle of branches and debris about 30 feet from my position. I waded through knee-deep water, my boots sinking into the mud with every step. When I got close enough, my light caught something that made me freeze. It wasn't a bear cub like I'd first thought. The creature was small, maybe 3 feet tall, covered in reddish-brown fur that was matted with mud. Its face was flatter than any ape I'd seen in magazines. More human-like, but definitely not human. 2 dark eyes stared up at me with an intelligence that sent a chill down my spine that had nothing to do with the cold rain. The young thing was trapped, one leg wedged between 2 thick branches. It whimpered when it saw me, trying to pull away, but it was too weak. I could see a gash on its shoulder, blood mixing with rainwater. "Easy now," I said, not knowing if it...
On September 23rd, 1953, my father acquired the Bigfoot. These are all the physical specimens of Bigfoot that are in existence. Some of the Bigfoot have a double row of teeth, top and bottom. This one does not. This one does not have a double row of teeth. On September 23rd, 1953, when my father acquired the Bigfoot, a few of them were so big that they had to cut them up. The torso of one, if you put the waist and the legs and the arms and the head on, would be over 16 feet tall. Some of them are smaller, and some of them actually have dwarfism. My father acquired all the Bigfoot in my possession September 23rd, 1953. On September 24th, something else happened. Out of all the Bigfoot that my father acquired September 23rd, 1953, this is the smallest one. It's also one of 2 that have dwarfism. That's what it appears. This is a little bit under 4 feet tall. Other one that has dwarfism is about 8 feet tall. It's clear that they are the same species, and it's clear that they're slightly different than the other ones because they have dwarfism. The largest one being 16 feet, this being the smallest one at 4 feet. Something notable that you might be able to see on this specimen is that it has a double row of teeth. I've been hesitant to show the bigger ones for obvious reasons. The way that they look. They're difficult to move. There's a lot of reasons that I haven't shown them, but I'm going to show them. People have said, oh, that must be 50 feet tall. No, it's not 50 feet tall. It's ridiculous. Over 20? Yeah, it's a little bit over 20. They're not like a human being. This is about its kneecap. It's not 50 feet tall. That's in a barn down the road, and there's state and federal authorities there. The government has showed up. There's a helicopter up there. It's in the barn. This is what I hear. I have a police scanner in here, and I'm listening to it. And it's in the barn, and the government has showed up, and I don't know what they're doing. They won't let us near that area. But the one helicopter showed up, and about 4 Blackhawks flew by, and they're over there at a short distance. But this one is right on top. This helicopter's right on top of where the barn is. Now I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to see if I can get over by the barn and get a picture of the Sasquatch. You know, whether they're going to shoot it. I don't know what they're going to do to it, but it's clearly, you know, that's what I understand. They have a Bigfoot in a barn that did something. I'm not really sure what, but they were chasing it. It went into a barn, and it's cornered. Tried everything to get to the barn to help the Sasquatch, and as you see, it doesn't even matter where you go. They have the Sasquatch surrounded in the barn. Look at the guy's got a assault rifle, the cop. There's no way into the barn. They got it blocked off. There's a news truck. There's some cops. There's some feds. I mean, you know, I don't know what they're gonna do to the poor Bigfoot. I'm sort of worried. They got the highway blocked off. You can't get in. They're using the fire department to help kill the Sasquatch. I think it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like you know, all these. Just an animal anyway. Like what's the big deal? It's just a Bigfoot. All of the Bigfoot specimens my father acquired in 1953, they're all big. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them have dwarfism. Some of them are so large, like this one, it's believed that it has gigantism. They're all big, they're all very heavy. Even though that they've been in freezers for a long time, they're very dried out. So they weigh less, but they're still very heavy. Recently, I converted the walk-in that I keep them in into a freeze dryer by adding a vacuum and an actuator, and I sealed it up real good. So now they're real dry. This one, the torso, is still in the freezer. It's going to stay in the freezer because it's so immense. I have to make sure that it's completely dried out.
God is insane.